Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We have an amazing show for everybody today. We got a lot of good stuff for everybody. We got a panel. We got Roger Fisk. We got Rachel Bovard. We got Andrew Feldman, Emily Jashinsky, Max Alvarez. He's talking about Amazon workers accusing Amazon of meddling in that union election, and the great and powerful Matt Taibbi, how reporters came to love the spy state. We always love talking to him. But I wanted to start with something that I find kind of hilarious and an ongoing and very troubling media campaign, actually. Let's put this up there on the screen. CNN's Oliver Darcy going after the New York Times for accepting ad dollars for Fox News. So here's what happened. The New York Times allowed Fox to buy an ad campaign on the top of their website. And so this CNN journalist is out there going against the New York Times for accepting their money. Here's the reason that this pisses me off, Colin, because I look at this as nothing else than an attempt that in order to use the power of the platform in order to basically censor your opponents in the business under the guise of reporting. Fox does this all the time, too, whenever they report about CNN. So I'm not saying this is value neutral. But the problem I have is that Darcy and others are leading a campaign from their failing network, which has like abysmal ratings at this time, and going after the people who have, I mean, Fox's ratings are also bad relative to where they were, but they're still number one in the business, and using the power of their platform to try to make it so that Fox can't advertise anymore. I just think it's completely crazy. And it just goes to show that they use their powers as the arbiters of gatekeeping in order to try and make it so that their legitimate competitors have no space or ability to conduct business. You see this with the ad boycotts too. And I just think the whole thing is just look, if you want to slug it out, go for it. But, you're losing on that front. So this is what they turn to.
I'm with you. Look.
Yeah.
Competition is a good thing.
Yeah.
I like competition. I'm a competitive person. And if I'm CNN, certainly I want to compete with Fox. But I'm not going to do so by saying that they can't buy ad time, especially in the New York Times. And the New York Times talks a lot of smack about Fox News
I know.
as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So let them buy ad time. Buy ads where we beat you up in our columns half the time. I think it's kind of silly and ridiculous to run a campaign against people buying advertising.
Right.
Ultimately, it's counterproductive. Because if I'm CNN, I might even sell Fox News some advertising on my network.
Here's the funny part, too, I'm realizing. Darcy and Brian Stelter, the person who works for over there, are always lamenting the decline of journalism, right? So, how do you think that journalism gets propped? By ads, okay? Sure. And so here's what Fox would do if they wanted more efficient ads. You know what they would do? They'd buy Google ads like everybody else. Because guess what? Google ads are the only ones that are actually really targeted along with Facebook or Instagram. Buying something directly, usually a crapshoot. And so much less more efficient. They're probably doing it just to flex. So don't you want them to take ads out in journalism? You're the one who's talking about all the time, advertising and social media networks are bleeding us dry. But then when it's the wrong person who's giving ad dollars to a newspaper, no, they shouldn't be taking their money. It's just, I think it's outrageous because they're Fox isn't a news organization. I mean, you're a news organization going out and actively campaigning against your competitor in order to take money. And by the way, I don't like Fox. I very rarely go on that network. I'm probably not going to go on again, specifically because I don't like the role that it plays in the big three and the way that they handle themselves. I'm not going to say that they're going to not be allowed to, to buy ads, something. I just think it's totally ludicrous. I hope people don't watch it as much, but that's a different thing, right?
Yeah, look, if I'm New York Times, I'd sell them advertising space too. Right. Why not? I'm trying to continually, as you said, be able to report on the things that I want to from the point of view of the paper that I work for and the journalists that work with me are. And you know what? Fox's ad dollars may support that. It seems like a little bit of turning the gun towards yourself here. And I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. I'd just beat them on content and what I am reporting about, not on making complaint campaigns, which never wins over anybody.
But they can't do that, and so this is what they resort to. And unfortunately, it has worked in the past, so we'll see. All right, guys, more Rising for everybody right after this.